on making atoles. So I'm just going to give you a rough idea of how to make it. I'm going to post the recipe on Fun Cooking with Mary, my blog spot, Miss Mary's Cooking blog spot. And it's already done. And I apologize because I had a little technical difficulties. But what I did, well, just to go over it really quickly, what I did was I brought 7 cups of water to a rolling boil in a ceramic pot. I like using the ceramic pot for that. And if you have one, that's great. And if you don't worry about it. Just get a stainless steel pot would be just as good. And then I did a cup of slurry. And what I did was I mixed the slurry with a whisk in a pan. In a little pan, mix the water in about 3/4 cup of flour to 1 cup of cold water, and I just kind of mixed it up, and then I strained it. I used a strainer to strain it. I'll show that to you really quick. And I strained it through here, and make sure, and then I just kind of whisked it through into another pan. And then as it was boiling, I slowly poured it in. Very slowly. Don't pour it in fast because it'll lump up. And then I just continued to whisk it. And then I added some sugar. You could use your own sugar, your sweeteners, which is, there's different kinds of sweeteners. You can use coconut sugar. You can use agave nectar. You can use, I use the regular granulated sugar. And I used like about 3/4 of a cup of the sugar after I poured in a cup of condensed milk. And you can also use coconut milk. And if you want to do it real vegan, omit the condensed milk, not the sweetened condensed milk, but the regular condensed milk, which is, you can find it anywhere. Sorry. So I used a regular condensed milk and evaporated milk. Not condensed milk. I'm sorry. Evaporated milk. Don't use the condensed milk. I mean, you could use the condensed milk, but you're not going to have control over the sugars. And so I want to have some control over the sugar. That condensed milk is really good too, but I want to have control over the sugar. So anyways, so I just keep stirring it up. And then, excuse me, I found some cinnamon sticks, and you can find all kinds of cinnamon sticks. See, there's a variety of cinnamon sticks here with different shapes and sizes. I like the big ones, but I like to, for the atole, I just want to use probably half of that. So if I were to use the whole one, you kind of split it open. You know, you split it open this way with your hands. And then you just stick it in there. And then if you want to flavor it up a little bit more, you can and really give that little spicy holiday spirit. You can just add some anise, just a little bit of anise, and a couple of cloves, and you can put whatever spices, a little bit of nutmeg, however you want to do your Mexican atole for breakfast, which goes really well with the tamales. So and you just kind of keep stirring it for about after you pour your milk, it's water, boiling water, slurry, milk, and then your cinnamon stick, and if you want to put a little pinch of salt, which I don't want to do, so to kind of bring that sugary flavor more, I don't need it. So, but if you want to do that, that's fine. And then you just lower it. Make sure you lower it. Once it's to a boil, you want to lower it, okay? You want to lower the water, and so that it can bring the boiling down. And then you add the slurry very slowly. Make sure you do that. And then you add a little bit of the vanilla extract. I got the pure bourbon vanilla extract. Put a little bit of that in there. And just, if you want to do almond, you can do almond if you want, almond flavor. So, I mean, it's your choice. You do whatever you want. And you just kind of stir it up and stir it up, and then until it creates like a skin on top of the atole, the beverage, the atole, and then it's just wonderful. Oh my gosh, let me show you. So I'm removing the skin. I'm kind of swirling it around, and then I'm removing that skin like that. And I'm just kind of pouring it in. That, and put it on a little, because you kind of dribble it. You can serve it with a cinnamon stick and then just have it. And you can put liquor in it if you want to. I mean, I would put, you know, if that's what you want to do, you can put a little bit of liqueur in there to kind of flavor it up. Cool. I mean, there's different kinds of liqueurs that you can find, and whatever suits your palate. It's really delicious. So what I have one tamale that I wanted to show you. I'm going to wrap that. And this is my way of eating a tamale. I basically put it on that's a skillet. And I put it on that skillet very slowly. And if it's cold out of the refrigerator, as long as they're cold, then you lower it even more, and then you just kind of let it set. I'm going to wash my hands. In between, I'm washing my hands. And then you, let's see, oh, I have a tong here. Let me get a tong. I can kind of cooking and cleaning at the same time. And then you just kind of turn that around. I may have some of this atole. It's a little dribbly on the side, but I'm just going to wipe that off on the bottom. Oh my gosh. And the longer you let it sit, where it heats up itself, and I'm going to cover it. And after it's done, the more the spices that you put in there will marinate, and it's just so flavorful. This is so delicious. Mama used to make tamales and atole for Christmas, and I know Christmas is past, but I ate it all in January, the cold days, because it warmed my tummy, and especially if I was stressed, it just kind of put a covering in my stomach. It just kind of made it nice. My tummy feel better. For summer, maybe it's the cinnamon in there, but you can also, like I said, you can use the coconut milk instead of the regular milk. I'm hoping my alarm doesn't go off, my smoke detector. And also, let's see, I think I've covered up pretty much. Oh, the water, I like using distilled water. The reason why I like using distilled water is because I think about how our water is running through our pipes. I'm not too happy when I think about it. So I'm one of those that I go get bottled water and distilled water, and I recycle my plastic, and we're supposed to be a little bit more eco-friendly. But my plastics last me for a while, and then they do have the jugs that you can buy, and eventually I'll get those and start, stop using. We want to get to a place where we're not using so much plastic, because it's polluting our oceans, which is not good for the animals, and it's not good for our ecosystem. And that's just a fact. Just like global warming, right? So we all know that about that, and we want to take care of our planet. So I'll use these bottles until there's a discoloration, which is not good. So if you have a bottled water that you can purchase, and they're kind of pricey, but if you can get one and use one, you can always sanitize them and reuse them. But I like using my bottled water, my distilled water, and I like having control over what I put in my mouth, or I drink. So And I wanted to say something else about the atole. And oh, you could use, instead of using flour, if you want to do non-gluten, you could use the rice flour. And you can also use cornmeal flour, like a corn flour. And doctors had advised me get rid of the corn. Yeah, and some of you cannot have because it does cause high glycemic to some people. And but there's coconut flour that you could use as well. And if you want to do an atole all coconut, then awesome. So you could use that. But I want to do the traditional way. So, in remembrance of my mom, and I had a really good food memory growing up with tamales. So, and don't be alarmed if that's getting a little bit too crispy. I mean, these husks, after they've been steamed with the tamale, they're almost edible. I had to stop somebody from eating the husk because, no, you don't eat the husk. And my mom used to recycle the husks. So, and you can do that too, but save some money. And back to the atole though, you could use, like I said, you could use the regular gluten flour, which is AP flour or all-purpose flour, and you could use, or you could use the corn flour, and you can make it into a champurrada, and by adding just a cube of the barra for the Mexican chocolate. Stick that in there. And be careful with the sugar, you add less sugar. You put that in there, and then with the cornmeal, and you have a champurrada drink. Yum! So this should be done. And I like heating my tamales on a cast iron skillet because there is a flavor that enhances, the tamale itself. When you put it on a cast iron skillet, the flavor from the corn husk seeps into the masa, which makes it a whole different tamale. And it's so delicious because, and it's kind of crispy on the outside, and you have that heat going on the inside of the corn husk, in the masa from the corn husk. And it's so good. It's delicious. So, anyways, I'm just going to take that apart. I couldn't wait to bite into it. And this is the way Mama used to heat them up for us. Oh, yeah. This was the best part. And I haven't done it up, well, I haven't posted my salsa, but I will. But look at that. And I know that's kind of messy, but that's okay. I'm a messy cook. You want to put a little hot sauce on it? Go for it. I don't see why not. Put some hot sauce on there. Oh yeah. Want to? Of course, salsa is better, in my opinion. But got some hot sauce? Go ahead. Go for the hot sauce. And then that's the pork. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Tastes just like my mom used to make them. And then you have your atole. You can use the spoon if you want. Ah! And it's like a palate chaser. After you have the tamal, a bite of the tamal, atole. And that's how you eat tamales and atole. And you can have them throughout the whole new year if you want. But traditionally, it's a Mexican, a traditional Mexican Christmas meal, breakfast. Yes, in the morning we used to wake up and Mom used to have this big, huge pile of tamales for us. It's like, who are you feeding? She would share tamales with the neighbors. She would share tamales for church. She would share tamales with family. I mean, it was a feast to come over and have tamales and atole for breakfast for Christmas, and we did it for years, and I miss that so much, and I hope that you could do that. If you can't do it for Christmas and Christmas is already passed, do it for the new year. Anytime you have cold weather, it's really good. It's like having Mexican eggnog with tamales. I mean, who wouldn't want that? So, anyways, I hope you have a wonderful new year, and then I'm going to be coming up with some more recipes. And I love you all, and it's fun cooking with Mary, and also Miss Mary's Cooking Vlog Spot. And have a wonderful, safe new year, and I will be talking to you soon. Mwah!